What's going on, guys? Chip here. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG online video. Today we're going to be talking about the Darkrai Dragons deck that Tony Jimenez used to make top 8 at the recent Utah Regionals from a couple of weekends ago. We're going to be rounding out the last of the top 8 deck lists here with another deck profile tomorrow about the top 8 finisher, but we're talking about Tony's Turbo Darkrai Dragons deck today. So this is Tony's second regionals. I believe that he's top 8'd with this deck, so big congratulations to him. We're going to go ahead and hop in and talk about Darkrai Dragons, what makes it a little different than Turbo Darkrai, and what makes it good. So let's go ahead and hop into things and take a look at Darkrai EX. Starting it off here, we are very familiar with this card. We have looked at it a lot on this channel. If you've come to my streams, I've played this card. I've played this deck a lot. So the basic 180 HP Dark Pokemon EX with the attack Dark Pulse. 20 damage. This attack does 20 more damage for each Dark Energy attached to all of your Pokemon. And we will use this in combination with Double Dragon Energy so that for one attachment that counts as 2 energies and we can just kind of load up a lot of energies that way. We also have the Dark Head attack here. If your opponent's active Pokemon is asleep, this attack does 80 more damage. We will probably never use this attack, but it is there. It is something that exists, but we're going to be using Dark Pulse more often than not. So talking about some of the Dragon attackers we have here, 2 copies of Giratina EX, the 170 HP Dragon-type Pokemon EX, with the attack Chaos Wheel. 100 damage, your opponent can't play any Pokemon Tool, Special Energy, or Stadium cards from his or her hand during his or her next turn. So a lot of decks that rely on Special Energy a lot, Chaos Wheel can just put a big damper on, and also the Renegade Pulse ability, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Mega Evolution Pokemon. So preventing damage done to us by Mega Rayquaza, Mega Gardevoir, Mega Mewtwo, just all these Mega Pokemon cannot touch Giratina EX. So definitely a very cool ability there that can kind of allow us to wall at times and make it difficult for our opponent to take prizes. We are also playing 1 copy of Salamence EX here with the Beastly Fang attack. This attack does 50 more damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon EX. And we also have Dragon Strike here. This Pokemon can't use Dragon Strike during your next turn. For 4 energies, does 130 damage. So not the worst either. That allows us to knock out things like Yveltal, things like Xerneas, all those 130 HP Pokemon, also Baby Volcanion, those type of things. Dragon Strike could be a good attack for us as well. I think personally, I would prefer 2 Salamence over 2 Giratina, and maybe just go down to 1 Giratina. I think Salamence is a little bit better in the meta right now than Giratina, but Giratina is definitely very solid. And I think for the Utah Regional specifically, a lot of Mega Rayquaza was expected, so Giratina EX definitely makes sense for that, as well as Mega Mewtwo. So we also have 2 copies of Yveltal here with Oblivion Wing. We are very familiar with this card as well. 30 damage, attach a basic Dark Energy card from your discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. So just keeping some energies in play, allowing us to do more damage with Dark Pulse. Also playing a Hoopa EX here. All of our Pokemon are EXs except for the 2 Yveltals. So Scoundrel Ring will allow us to search out any of the 3 Pokemon we might need at that specific time. Go ahead and put them on our bench, put them in our hand, whatever we need to do, and get our board set up. And of course, 2 copies of Shaman EX here with the setup ability. When we play it from our hand onto our bench, we get to draw cards until we have 6 in our hand. One of the best cards in the game, without a doubt. So let's go ahead and expand it here. Take a look at the rest of what we have to work with. 2 copies of Escape Rope, giving us a little bit of switching utility. We do have kind of high retreat on, we've got 3 retreat on Giratina, 2 retreat on everything else, I think, except for Shaman, which just has 1. So having Escape Rope to move around and also conserve our energy can be very good. Maybe deny our opponent some prizes, can be a pseudo Lysander for us in some instances. So Escape Rope definitely a good inclusion. We've got 4 copies of Max Elixir, one of the ways we can get Dark Energies in play earlier. Looking at the top 6 cards of our deck and putting a basic energy card we find there onto one of our basic Pokemon. Every single Pokemon in our deck is a basic, so we can Max Elixir to anyone. Also 1 copy of Switch, just maybe sometimes we don't want to let our opponent switch, so we just have a switch for ourselves there. 3 copies of Trainer's Mail, just adding some consistency to the deck there. 4 copies of Ultra Ball, as you guys know, what really makes most decks work nowadays with the Hoopa Shaman engine. Ultra Balling for Hoopa, letting us set up our entire field is so good. That's why we play 4 of them, so we can get it out early as possible. 4 copies of VS Seeker to put a supporter from our discard pile into our hands to potentially reuse it. 2 copies of the Parallel City Stadium. So we can use this to either limit our opponent's damage and bump our Shamans and Hoopas off the field, or if we are going against something like Rayquaza, we can limit their bench and Chaos Wheel to lock the stadium in place, make it so they can't bump the stadium and can't really do very much damage to us at all. One copy of Hex Maniac here. So much of this format is very reliant on abilities, things like Volcanion running around. Everything relies on the Hoopa Shaman engine, it feels like. So having a turn 1 Hex Maniac and also having it, you know, for later in the game can be very, very useful. 2 copies of Lysander to bring up whatever our opponent has on the bench we want to take a knockout on. 3 copies of N to give us a little shuffle draw in the beginning of the game and also disrupt our opponent later on. 1 copy of Olympia. This allows for us to switch as well and also gives us a little bit of healing, so definitely very nice there. 4 copies of Professor Sycamore to discard our hand and draw 7. Best draw supporter in the game, without a doubt. 2 copies of EXP Share, so this is actually a card that hasn't seen a lot of play in these Darkrai Dragons deck, but I do like it. Allows us to conserve the energies, since Darkrai will be our main attacker most of the time. 2 Fighting Fury Belts, so that the Pokemon this card is attached to gets 40 more HP and its attacks do 10 more damage. 4 Double Dragon Energies, gonna load these up on our Giratinas and our Salamence. And 10 Darkness Energies. As you guys know, this counts as Dark Energy when it's attached, counts as 2, so that just makes Dark Pulse hit even harder. So here's the list, guys. Huge congratulations once again to Tony for an awesome finish. But let's go ahead, hop onto the Versus ladder, and see if we can't win a couple games. As always, guys, definitely leave a like down below if you enjoy these videos. Subscribe if you haven't yet. That way you can get notified anytime we put up new videos. We put up at least 1 video every single day. We actually have 2 videos going up today, so trying to get up some more content for you guys. If you enjoy them, definitely leave a like down below. So, JC Steel 66 here. Looks like we get Decidueye Vileplume for our first match of the day. So we will see how this goes. If they don't get down any double colorless energies and we can maybe get off a turn and like very early Chaos Wheel, that would be very good. But Lugia also hits us pretty hard, and we do start Hoopa, unfortunately. Probably our worst starter in the deck. We can't, we have to use a switch or an escape rope to get it out of the active. If we have a Shaman, we can retreat it with a Darkness Energy or something like that at least. But Hoopa is going to have to get switched out of there, so let's see. Actually, we looks like we're playing against Mega Beedrill as opposed to Decidueye. So that is very, very interesting. Not going to get anything there. Maybe we can get an Ultra Ball or something here. Nice, we do get an Ultra Ball. So we can go ahead and get a Double Dragon Energy into play. Definitely going to want to use that. Definitely going to want to use those to attack with Giratina EX here, since Giratina EX does have the Renegade Pulse ability. Having things like Olympia and having escape ropes will be very important in this matchup. So let's go ahead and play the N. Draw some new cards, see if we can't get something else going. A couple of Ultra Balls there, very nice. Do have a double colorless for the next, or double dragon, excuse me, for the next turn. We'll go ahead and Ultra Ball, we'll get rid of the Ultra Ball and the Hex. And with this, I think we'll just get the Darkrai. Go ahead and have that guy in play. We could get a Shaman and keep digging, but we don't really need anything else. We're going to go ahead and just get a Darkrai out, put it on the bench, and we're going to pass our turn onto our opponents. Let's see what they're able to do. We're going to have to find a switching card next turn, but if they don't end us, we will get off the turn 2 Chaos Wheel, which will be very, very good. Let's see what Nest Ball goes for. Okay, so Lurantis, Mega Beedrill. Not something I expected to play against today, but we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Oh, and they must not have a great hand at all. They're going to have to just set up for 2 here. Let's see if they're able to find anything. Forest of Giant Plants comes down. Looks like we're going to see an Ultra Ball. We saw they weren't playing Hoopa EX, which would be definitely a good card in this deck, I think. But it looks like they're just going to go for a Shaman here. Ultra Balling away a Max Potion and VS Seeker. So Max Potion, definitely something to note that they have. Let's see what they get here off of this Shaman. If they don't play a supporter, we're definitely going to Sycamore over in next turn. This turn, I should say. But let's see what they do. See what they can get happening. Giratina might not be the best attacker, honestly, since Lurantis can easily come and knock it out. I wasn't considering Lurantis, to be honest, at first, but He does get out a Mega Beedrill, so if we can get off a turn 2 Chaos Wheel still, we can prevent him from getting multiple Beedrills, and he's already down 3 via Seekers, which is definitely not good for him. We're going to go ahead and just attach here, and we're actually just going to Sycamore, I think. Yeah, we don't want to give him a couple more cards, so I think this gives us the higher chances of drawing those switching cards. We do get a switching card, and I think here if we can get a, hit this Max Elixir. If we can hit this Max Elixir, we're actually going to attack with Yveltal here. We'll take Fighting Fury Belt. I don't think we're going to play it yet since he can double Scrapper. Maybe we'll wait till he gets a couple more Beedrills out. Let's see if we hit this here. We do. Very nice. So we can go ahead and start getting some more energies in play. So let's go ahead and switch here into Yveltal. We could bench the other Darkrai. We don't really need to yet. We could play Fighting Fury Belt. Also, I don't think we really need to yet. So we're going to go ahead and just Oblivion Wing and put the energy onto the Darkrai. Next turn, we'll go ahead and bench this Darkrai, I think. Alright, so puts another energy there onto the Lurantis. We'll see, maybe we'll see like a Coruscant. Nope, he's going to just Lysander the Hoopa. He does not want this Hoopa to retreat. Okay, so we do top deck an Escape Rope, which is nice. But what do I want to go for? 20, 40, 60, 80, 120, 40, 60, so that is knocking out a Beedrill if he sends that up. If he sends up the Mega, we just get some solid damage off on it. He's also down 2 Max Potions. If he goes into the Mega, I think we are actually just going to Oblivion Wing this turn. Keep getting some more energies in play. He's going to go into the Mega, so we can't knock it out, so I think we're just going to go here into Yveltal. I'm going to go ahead and bench this Darkrai. We could Sycamore. I guess there's no reason not to Sycamore. Definitely don't want to end. We know he didn't do anything. So we'll go ahead and play Sycamore. Draw a new hand. That way if he Lysanders once again, we can maybe have an Olympia or another switching card. No Olympia or anything yet. We do have an Ultra Ball to dig for a Shaman potentially next turn if we need to. But we'll just go ahead and Oblivion Wing here. Attach that last Darkness energy that's in the discard pile to this Darkrai. Next turn we can Ultra Ball for maybe Salamence. Get a Darkness energy, a Double Dragon on it, get another Dark in the discard, and Oblivion Wing once again. So, okay, yeah. Maybe we can... I wish we had the Olympia in the discard pile. I think we're just going to hit Ultra Ball here, discard Sycamore, and I think I want to get rid of the Giratina, actually. Gonna grab that Salamence. Haven't had to bench a Shaman, which is great. Wait, did I not discard a Dark Energy? I should have discarded a Dark Energy. I'm an idiot. Oh, that's so bad. That's really bad. The whole reason I did that was so I could get another energy in play. Oh, I should have I totally meant to Ultra Ball Dark Energy. That's really bad. But it happens. Small mistake there. Should have gotten rid of maybe the Giratina in the dark or a Sycamore in the dark. Or just 2 Darks, honestly, would have been fine. But next turn we can just attach Retreat and then attack with this Darkrai. But let's see what my opponent does. Just a pass. So not looking great for my opponent. We do get an EXP share, so let's put that down onto... We'll put that on the Hoopa, I guess. No, we'll put it on Yveltal. We'll put it on Yveltal. Go ahead and retreat. And this should be enough for a knockout. I didn't actually do the math, but I know we have a ton of energies in play, so I feel like we should be hitting pretty hard at this point. So we'll go ahead and take 2 prizes there. Didn't want to play an in or anything that turn. We got a couple energies on our hands, so we can just keep loading stuff up. Let's see what they're going to do. Maybe a Chloroscythe here hitting us for a lot. Nope, just going to see a Lysander. Maybe bring up the Salamence, or the Giratina, excuse me, to take a big knockout here. Of course, we're not going to be able to keep any energies in play, but we can just return the knockout here with Salamence, which is hitting for 210, which is enough to knock out Lurantis. It does already have a little bit of damage on it, but still solid. We could end this turn. We definitely could end, since they did just take 2 prizes, and I think I do not mind doing that. So we'll go ahead and end, since we're going to go down to 2 prizes. We do get Olympia, nice. We get a Max Elixir. I don't think... let's see, that's... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So just 2 energies left. Probably wouldn't hit this. Let's go ahead and do it just in case he ends us, though. Okay, we do hit. Nice. And we're going to go ahead and get an energy onto the Yveltal here. And we will just Beastly Fang for the KO onto Lurantis, hitting for 210. Very nice. Let's see if my opponent can do anything to return a knockout here. We do get a Parallel City, which will be great to get rid of this Hoopa that has just been stuck here on this bench this game. Let's see what he goes for. Gonna play an N. Let's see if he can get maybe a Spirit Link plus Mega Turbo. That's gotta be what he's hoping for here. We do have an Escape Rope and a Olympia in the deck still. I'm gonna put a Floatstone on Fomantis. And he's just gonna concede. Okay, so taking a W there. Definitely, I maybe should have put the Fury Belt onto the Salamence to prevent him from taking that, or not, excuse me, to the Giratina to prevent him from Lysander Chlorocything, but ended up working out okay for us. We had Salamence to come in and take a knockout. So a little bit of sloppy play there from me in the beginning of that game. I made a mistake not discarding the Dark Energy, but didn't end up hurting us. We ended up getting the win still, so we'll see how this one goes. Another Grass Colorless deck. Another Mega Beedrill deck? I would assume this is going to be Decidueye, but you never know. You never know. Definitely could be more of the same. Alright, so let's go ahead with this hand. We're going first. We'll go ahead and start Yveltal here. We'll click Done. Alright, and a Rowlet. So it looks like it will indeed be Decidueye. If we can get an early Chaos Wheel, it's okay. It's pretty good. We're going to go ahead and Ultra Ball. We'll discard the Darkness Energy and the Sycamore here, I think. Do we have both Parallel Cities? We do. We prized our other 2 Darkrai's, which is not good at all. So not going to go for Hoopa here. Yeah, not good at all. Prize 2 Darkrai's and another Shaman. So we're going to have to go with Giratina early here, I think. Maybe Salamence as well if they bench several Shamans. I think we go ahead and bench the Salamence just to maybe prevent him from... like, to maybe scare him from benching a lot of EX Pokemon. So we'll go ahead and bench Giratina, bench Salamence. We could have gone for Shaman there. We would have only set up for 3, though. So I think that this is okay. We already have a Dark in the discard now for Oblivion Wing. We can get a double colorless down here, which is good. So I think we just attach to the active. We could Escape Rope and attach the Double Dragon and try to hit another Double Dragon next turn to get the turn 2 Chaos Wheel. And I don't hate that. That's pretty aggressive, though. We do know we have all 4 Double Dragons. But I think if we can get that early Chaos Wheel, he's not going to hit us for a lot. And if we can prevent him from getting double colorless down. This is risky. I'm not sure if I agree with this play or not. But we'll go ahead into Giratina. We'll put the XP share on Salamence. And we'll click Done. Yeah, I don't know. That was pretty aggressive, and it might bite us by us not being able to really get much set up. We could have just attached the Darkness Energy to the active, not played the Escape Rope, and then held our hand past, and if he doesn't end us, then we have an attachment for the turn plus an Oblivion Wing to go ahead and have the turn 3 Chaos Wheel pretty much guaranteed. But, you know, we're gonna be aggressive here. We're gonna see if we can make something happen. He's going to set up for 3, so it doesn't have a great hand, I guess. Gets a Lugia down. Oh, and the double colorless, so that spells doom for Giratina EX. Does have to get rid of another double colorless, though. So he does bench several EX Pokemon, meaning Salamence could hit for a decent amount of damage. Putting the XP share on it now makes it so we can't hit 170, though. I probably should have considered that. Yeah, I definitely should have considered that, but we can soften it up with an Oblivion Wing or something. And this is another reason I'm not too sure about EXP share in this deck, is because it doesn't save us Double Dragons. If it saved us Double Dragons, it would be too good. But he's going to go ahead and Sycamore here. Looks like he discarded some Decidueyes, Dartrix there. Let's see what he gets here with Level Ball. Going to grab the Gloom. Does he have the turn 2 Vileplume? We're going to see an Ultra Ball. Let's see what this goes for. Could get the Vileplume, could get the Decidueye, or like a Dartrix or something like that. We know he has the Gloom in his hand. Gonna grab Revitalizer, so this will allow him to get Decidueye or Vileplume back, or Dartrix Vileplume, whatever he wants to get. We know he has an Ultra Ball in his hand as well, so gonna just get Dartrix Decidueye. Maybe his second Vileplume is prized? That would be nice. Gonna go ahead and get the big Decidueye GX up and running. Ultra Ball here. Nope, it wasn't prized. So he does have Vileplume. Leaves himself with one card, makes me think it's probably a good card. He's gonna Feather Arrow onto the active and onto our turn. Yeah, not looking great, guys. We're gonna just... I kind of just want to Lysander this and try to set up our board, get a bunch of energies in play. I think we will do that. We're going to have to draw into like our Olympia or something here pretty soon, but we're just going to click done. Maybe he actually doesn't have a good hand. Maybe he was bluffing just the one card being a good card. Nope, he had a Sycamore. I figured he did. If he had the Trainer's Mail, he would have played it before, so he must have just top-decked that. He is just going to be able to start hitting us with Decidueye, though, with Feather Arrows. So the Lysander stall doesn't do a lot, but it keeps him to just doing 20 a turn, and eventually we'll be able to do something to this Vileplume. So we're going to go ahead and end here, try to get ourselves a new hand, get some Double Dragons so we can maybe Chaos Wheel next turn. If we top deck Hex, we can actually Escape Rope, which wouldn't be bad. Alright, so on to my opponent's turn. Let's see what they go for. Gonna go ahead and get out 2 Decidueyes. Yeah, going in with the Giratina was a really bad play, so we'll see if we can come back from that mistake. Maybe too little too late here, but we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. Salamence will be our better dragon attacker here, I believe. We do get Hex, so we could Escape Rope into Oblivion Wing Eviltal, but then it allows him to get something going. We'll just attach the energy here, and we're going to end. We could actually deck our opponent out, potentially. Yeah, we could actually deck our opponent out. I'm betting that probably won't happen, but it could. I don't think we want to play anything else, so we're just going to click Done. Does get another energy on the Decidueye, and he's going to end here. There's a chance he decks out. I don't know. We do have a lot of prizes on the board. Prizing 2 Darkrai's is so bad, but we do have the Hex plus Escape Rope combo. He's going to go ahead and start targeting down the Salamence, noticing that that could be a threat. Alright, so with Darkrai, we'd be hitting for 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 160. We could attach, set up for 1. I don't really, but then we can bump the Shaman, so there's no real draw to that. So let's go ahead and do this. Maybe it'll allow us to get a Max Elixir or something. So we'll set up for 1. Have to do this before we Hex, of course, because if we Hex, we won't be able to use setup. We do get EXP share. So we'll go ahead and play Hex. We'll play an Escape Rope, and depending on what he goes into, it will depend on what we send in. Probably going to send in Eviltal, but if for some reason he sent up a Shaman, we would go in with Darkrai. He's going to go into Lugia. He knows we can only hit 160. So I think we're just going to go into Eviltal here. We can Ultra Ball, but I definitely want to be able to Parallel City here. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Get rid of the Shaman. We could get rid of the Giratina, but I want to keep the energies in play. So we're just going to Oblivion Wing here for 30, get that Dark Energy in play. And hopefully he targets down and KOs this Yveltal. Because if not, we're going to have to get our Olympia. Or Hex plus Switch, but we don't have a Hex left, so not looking great for that likelihood. We could have Ultra Balled for a Shaman there, but then he definitely wouldn't have bumped the stadium knowing that all we had in our hand was Shaman. Since we had the Hex, he is able to play items this turn, of course. So we could see a Hollow Hunt this turn. We're just going to see a Lysander. Going to take out this Giratina, I would assume. Alright, so he's going to go down to 2 prizes. We're going to go ahead and bring up Darkrai here. He wasn't able to use his Feather Arrows, of course. So we're just going to click done. Would have liked that Fighting Fury Belt, but unfortunately we didn't have it last turn. A lot of Dark Energies. We're going to go ahead and put it on Yveltal. Hopefully we can get a Darkrai off of the prizes. Hopefully he doesn't retreat this and we can knock it out next turn. But we'll see. We'll see what he does here on this turn. He might Hollow Hunt. He could just Razor Leaf again. If we top deck Olympia, we could actually go in and kill him with Darkness Blade, which would be really good, taking the knockout with a 1 prize attacker. We may have to kill the Vileplume if we want to win this game. Which means we need our last Lysander. Let's see where he puts his Feather Arrows. He's going to go ahead and keep targeting down the Mints, which I think is good. This isn't looking hot for us. Going in with that Giratina was really stupid early, and I think it's going to end up costing us here, but we'll see what happens. He is going to retreat, so very smart play on his part. He's going to Lysander the Salamence, so he will be able to knock it out now with Arrow Ball after those Feather Arrows. We don't keep any energies in play, and this is not looking hot, guys. We're going to bring up Darkrai since it has the most HP. All he needs is a DCE. He needs a DCE plus just Feather Arrowing the Darkrai once, and he'll be able to knock it out. No, he actually needs to Feather Arrow it twice, but very much a play that he can make. Let's see if he has the DCE. He does have 2 down in the discard. Actually, no, he doesn't even have 1 left, so he can't do that. That's good. That is good. And this turn, what we're going to do is we're going to retreat the Darkrai and Oblivion Wing and knock out the Lugia, if he doesn't retreat this. He may retreat it and just Hollow Hunt this turn, but if he Hollow Hunts with this one, we knock it out. If he has to get a Grass Energy to Hollow Hunt with this one. So he is just going to Arrow Ball, which means we can retreat and Oblivion Wing for the KO. But it's not going to end up making a difference here. We have lost this game. He's going to win in just a couple of turns by taking us out with Feather Arrows. So we're going to have to bench some Pokemon and discard this with Parallel City if we want to win. But we're going to have to draw Pokemon in order for that to happen. And we're already down. You know, we have to draw into Hoopa or something like that. But let's see what he sends up here. Definitely a tough spot for him, I think. But he's going to go ahead and send up the Decidueye, so he could Hollow Hunt this turn, but then we get a knockout with Darkness Blade, which would be nice. If he can make another Decidueye, he wins this turn, or if he has a Lysander... No, he doesn't have another double colorless left. He's going to in us. So we need to get 4 Pokemon plus Parallel City, or 3 Pokemon plus Parallel City, if we want to change. So we get Hoopa, which could find it for us. He's going to Hollow Hunt here, probably getting back DCEs and Lysanders and stuff like that. This is going to be tough, but we'll see what we can do. Gets Lysander, Shaman, and a Grass Energy, so he can attack with this Decidueye. So no DCEs coming out for my opponent. We're going to go ahead and use Hoopa, Scoundrel Ring, Darkrai, Giratina, Shaman. So we can get rid of Hoopa plus Shaman, potentially. Go ahead and do this. We definitely want to attach this energy to this Darkrai. We have Shaman, Grass. He didn't get a double colorless, right? Does it tell us what he got? Shaman, Grass, Lysander? So if we just Oblivion Wing, he can't actually knock it out. But let's see if we can get that Parallel City here. That would be big. We do not. So he just wins. Yeah, unfortunately, all he has to do is Feather Arrow and he can win. If we had gotten the Parallel City there, we could have gotten rid of the Darkrai. We'll just Oblivion Wing. We could have Darkness Bladed for the KO, but prizing 2 Darkrai's is pretty bad in that game, and I definitely made that mistake early. All around, I would say this is probably not the greatest matchup. If we go second and get a turn 1 Chaos Wheel, that's probably the best time to Chaos Wheel, but if he gets a DCE onto Lugia, it's too hard for us, so unfortunately there, we're going to lose that one, so won 1 game, lost 1 game in today's video. Let me know what you guys think of this deck down below for sure. I think it's still really solid, and Dark Dragons is just a good archetype. I don't know that I love the EXP shares. I would maybe try to find something else instead of those, but let me know what you guys think down below. That's going to do it for me. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, take care.